My name is Mary Ellen, and for whoever is watching this video, hello. So, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I mean, you probably already read the title, but it's about my experience at working at Five Guys. So, to start off, I say so a lot, so ignore that. But basically, I worked there for less than a year, maybe like 4 months, I believe. I don't really remember, but it was not that long ago, and let me tell you guys, it was the worst, and I say worst, job I have ever had. I literally could not even understand why I stayed and dealt with that bullshit. So, the first thing is, when I first started working there, I had a few friends who worked there already. So, I was like, oh, cool, like, I can just start working there and it'll be a chill job because I'm in school. So, I just needed something really chill. So, when I first started working there, it was okay and I didn't really see anything, you know, triggering or, red light. Or not, that's not even what it says. Ignore that. Sorry. But my manager, when I say was immature, he was absolutely stupid immature. He was, first of all, I think he was like 24, maybe 25, and we were all like, I want to say 18, 19. Some of us were in college, some of us weren't. And he was so inappropriate. Like, I kid you not, he would like come into work, and we had two employees that were like brothers, and they're African American. And he would call them the N word. He would like, oh, the are here. And I was like, ew, like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're our general manager and you're calling our employees that. Like, what? So that was like the start of it when I started seeing how he really was. He was rude. He would always tell us like how shitty of a job we were doing. He always, tried to crack jokes or, try to like I said, like be inappropriate. Like his jokes were stupid, they're inappropriate, and it was just weird. Like I didn't like it. So, and not only that, he would do it like in group text, like after work too. He would say oh, like play me on PlayStation, like who's trying to, get their ass beat, or like I don't. He would just say weird stuff all the time, and I didn't like it, especially like to the girls. So there was a few girls that worked there. I made friends with some of them. They were really nice and really chill, and they basically were like, okay, so they told me, because after a while, like I started seeing how they would act around, or he would act around them, and I'd be like, you don't think he's weird? Like our manager, I'd be like, he's super weird, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like he says this to me, or he says that, or he always says this, and I'm just like, ew, like why would you like not say anything? Like that makes me uncomfortable hearing it. So, excuse me. So I basically, when I found that out, I kind of like was watching, my back and making sure, like, because there was one time where I was like getting like something, and he was like, "Oh no, you have to do it like this," and he put his hand like near mine, and I'm just like, "You best watch where you're placing that hand." So he he kind of like, I think he knows that I have such a strong personality that I'd be the type to be like, "What are you doing? Should you be talking to me like that? I'm not really cool with that." So I would be the type to say something, and those girls really weren't the type to say anything. So I feel like that's why he didn't say as much. But as I kept working there later, he kept telling other employees stuff about me, like, oh, like, Mary Ellen's hella bad, or, just like weird stuff. And I was just like, ew, like, it just made me so uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want to be alone with him. I never wanted to work with him. I never wanted to be like around him, basically. That, and because he was just a jackass, like complete jackass. Like every day after work, we'd get off at like 11 or 11:30, all these people and I, and we would like have to close so much, and he would still like text us when we get home, like in the group chat, and he would send us a bunch of pictures like of this, of that, and he'd be like, yeah, here's what you didn't do right. This looks like crap. This looks like this looks like, just like talking so much shit about our clothes. And it was so annoying because I'm like, when I'm off work, I'm off work. I'm not here to talk about work. I go to work, do my job, leave. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't even want to be in this group chat, but I was always added back. So that was another thing too. This group chat, this work group chat, was never about work. We literally had employees who would like fight and like talk crap to each other on this group chat, say inappropriate things, talk about like beating their meat. Like, it was disgusting. Like, was kind of just like, how old are you guys? Like, I just kept my distance. So, and that was not the only annoying part. Like, some of the employees, like, okay, I'm not one who's like into drugs and stuff. So that's just not my vibe. So, I mean, if you are, that's totally fine. Like, I just personally don't dabble into that stuff. But a lot of the employees there, since our manager didn't give a crap, he would like not say anything. And a lot of the employees would either miss work, come in like 2 hours late, or come in and do nothing. They would literally stand there and just be like, oh, do I need to do that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you could help. Like, I'm not here to do everyone's work. Like, that was the most annoying part is like, I was not here to do your job. I'm here to do my job. Everyone needs to put in their part. So that was also annoying. And I would try to speak up and tell the manager, like, not on people, but I was kind of just be like, hey, like, if they're going to do that, like, make sure they just do their job. Like, because I'm really not trying to babysit here or like take care of like people. So, like, basically, I'm just here to do my job, not other people's jobs. So, yeah, that was really annoying. So it ended up getting worse, and my manager ended up being, more rude. He started not liking me because I would like call him out on stuff. So he started, switching up my schedule, doing certain things that I didn't like, just purposely to get under my skin. So I was like, you know what? I shouldn't even have to deal with this sexual harassment, rude comments, like all this BS. I should not have to see it or deal with it. So I was like, oh, I want to talk to someone like your boss, like, because I didn't have corporate's number. So I was like, let me just talk to your district manager or something. I think she and him were like friends or something because she literally avoided me every time. Every time she was at the store, I was not there. And I never met her. She never made an effort to talk to me. I left her voicemails, text messages, emails, all to like, I need to talk to someone. Like, someone needs to help me. Like, I need someone to do something about this. But I feel like they were just covering each other's backs because they just didn't want to, get each other in trouble cuz there was some shady shit going on at Five Guys, and I kid you not, like, it ended up being worse. So, basically, I went higher to corporate and I found this number and I put in complaints about where I was working because I was just like, it's just not fair. Like, my hours are getting cut. I'm being, singled out. I'm doing other people's jobs. I'm getting shit when other people are getting chances. So it was just not fair. And long story short, an investigation happened, I guess. And that lady, the district manager, was like, oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. I never knew that you wanted to talk to me. And I'm just like, how? Like, I literally reached out to you. I told employees to tell you I wanted to talk to you. Like, how? So that's another thing that I was kind of just like, BS, whatever. But long story short, like, my general manager, was so stupid that he literally was doing even more illegal shit. He was like putting money aside for this fake person under his wife's name, excuse me, under his wife's name and paying her even though she would never come in. I don't know. It was so weird. And I'm like, you're over here. Oh, and on top of that, if you had more hours than him, like other employees, he would give himself like an extra 20 hours every week. So he was like giving himself money and taking our money and being hella unfair. So I didn't like that. Like, once you mess with me and my money, like, no, not okay. So, long story short, he was hiring people and only friends and bad people because he kind of wanted to keep his little secret business under the table. But, he hired me and like a few other people that were actually like smart. So we kind of like caught on to him being unfair. So, I don't know if he ended up quitting or they ended up letting him go or firing him or whatever, but he was gone. And basically, what was I going to say? Oh, basically, the company didn't even try to like talk to me or talk to anyone else. They kind of just swept it under the rug and kind of was like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna do, whatever's best for the company and just leave it there. So they brought in this new manager. So I was like, might as well stick around and see if this is any better since I fought so much of this crap for everyone. And that's the other thing. I was the only one speaking up. I was the only one willing to try to fix this. Like, I don't know. When I see someone doing bad and I'm kind of just like, if it's affecting everyone that much, like, everyone needs to stick up and say something. But no one wanted to say anything. Only I did. So this new manager we got, I mean, he was not any better. He was so unprofessional. I could hardly understand what the hell he was saying. he would make stupid decisions. Like, he'd be like, oh, we ordered less of this because we don't want, to spend too much money. And I'm like, but we don't have any more of those and we need them. And he just made dumb decisions. Like, we would literally cook some days and we had no buns for our hot dogs or our hamburgers. And I'm just like, that's all we serve. So yeah, so he was really stupid like that. And he hired like his whole family, like nephews and stuff. And I'm like, that can't be right, because he was giving those new people 40 plus hours, 36 plus hours, and only giving us, like, the old people that are there, like 12 hours. And he used excuse, you guys need to earn those hours. And I'm like, I've been earning these hours. I've been here working my ass off with bad managers. Like, what the hell? So he already didn't like me, I could tell, because he would tell me I'm a good worker, but I didn't want to do extra BS that I didn't have to do. Like, if I'm not getting paid for that, I'm not going to do that. So basically, yeah, he was just as bad. And he had his wife start working there too, and they would like work together. But I don't know if his wife or something was on crack, but we'd be literally in the kitchen. It's like a few like customers there, and she'd be screaming and flipping the burgers like, woo, woo. And I'm just like, why are you so excited? Like, relax. She literally threw hot oil on me by accident one time because she was too much. She was being too much. And I was like, this is what happens when you let unprofessional people in charge. So I tried to talk to the manager, or not the manager, corporate, about fixing this issue now that I had to deal with. And they really didn't care. So I kind of was on my own, and I still was getting bad hours. My money was still like not adding right because he didn't know how to like submit our hours correctly. So I was losing money sometimes for the hours that I worked. So long story short, I was getting so fed up, and one day I was at work, and he was just pushing my buttons and trying to be nitpicky and tell me all this stuff that I have to do that I already did. And so I pulled him to the side and I was like, look, I don't understand why you're giving my hours away, or why you're being super unfair. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm a good worker and it's just not fair. And you know what he said to me? He looked at me blank straight in the face and was like, well, I'm going to do what I want if it's not fair, because I don't care and I'm in charge. So I was like, you know what? Fine. So I threw my apron off and I was like, you know what? I quit then. I'm not going to be here and work under the worst manager I have ever had, who has no social skills, who has no idea what he's doing, and who's being super unfair. I won't work here. So then I grabbed all my stuff and I left, super dramatic exit. I don't recommend that, but I was done. So I ended up, what's it called? Yeah, I ended up quitting. And then I'm not going to lie, after I did cry because there was just so much anxiety happening, and like, I was so upset because I was just so done and stressed with the place. And I ended up reaching out to the corporate again because I got my last paycheck, and I was missing 27 to 30 hours. 27 to 30 hours. Like, what the hell is that about? So I was just like, that's not okay. He deleted my shifts because I saw on my thing that he deleted off the shifts that I made, my second manager. So I had my time card. So if you have time cards, always keep them like safe, because you need those, because I had to prove that I did those hours. So I showed it to them, and yeah, I did get my money in the end. But what I was really disappointed about was that I was never, apologized to or even like reimbursed for all the stress and pain I had to deal with while working there, with all the harassment, getting my money taken, dealing with this unfair treatment. And in the long run, I fought my fight and I fixed some things, but I couldn't fix it all. The company just truly didn't care. And it was just time for me to move on and find something else. So that's what I did. And I know that not everyone can stick up for themselves or be strong, but the best thing that you could do is, like I said, not deal with that stuff. Kind of just like remove yourself, because there's always going to be another job out there. I know that sometimes you guys think that, no, I need this job, like it pays the bills. I totally get that. There's always going to be another job out there, like I promise you, because it's not okay for you to deal with that. First, again, that's against the law for people and employers to do that. So just remember that it'll get better, and if it's not worth staying, then go somewhere else. Like, you don't deserve that, and it shouldn't be right. And most companies are going to care. They think that all of us are replaceable so fast, so it's whatever. But like I said, that is my story. And yeah, I don't recommend working at Five Guys. So it's probably the worst job and the worst company I've ever worked for. I mean, the job itself is easy, but just too much stress. They put like so much stress. Like, you need to have a burger out in 8 minutes, or you're going to get in trouble. And I'm kind of just sitting here like, It is not that serious. But you know what? I hope you guys like my story because it was kind of a lot, and I know that I'm probably still missing some stuff. But if you guys have any questions or you want to hear another crazy work story or something, I have a lot of stories to tell that are kind of funny. Just like this video and give me ideas.